One.
Hello, Aviva family. I wanted to take this time to bring you up to date on Aviva's COVID-19 continued response, as well as our monitoring of the situation in Sarasota and Manatee counties. As you may have begun to see on TV or read in the newspaper or on your computers, Sarasota and Manatee County have begun to see an increase once again in their COVID-19 cases. In fact, Sarasota Memorial Hospital had to reopen their COVID-19 ICU pod in order to deal with the increase in the number of patients. The virus is still very much among our community. Even though the community has begun to reopen, as well as Aviva has begun to reopen, but we all must manage our own risk factor. What I mean by this is we all must be diligent in wearing our masks all the time. When you leave your apartment, when you leave your room, please remember to wear your mask. Also, please remember the importance of the social distancing of 6 feet. The studies are clear that by adhering to these two simple tasks, we can all of us can control the spread of coronavirus COVID-19. The Aviva campus staff will once again undergo testing on Thursday, June 18th and Friday, June 19th. The state has not come up with a specific guideline for testing of senior living staff. However, our team has felt that it is necessary to continue testing, and therefore it is 1 month since we tested all of our staff. You may ask, what is the plan for testing of residents? We continue to read guidelines from the Centers for Disease Control as well as the Florida Department of Health, none of which have yet provided us with guidelines on how and when we are to test our residents across the campus. I anticipate at this juncture that Aviva will be testing our residents once again in early July. To this point, I say thank you and congratulations to all of you for working with us on the phase 1 reopening guidelines that were put into effect here at Aviva over the last 2 weeks. You will be receiving more information later on this week on Friday, June 19th, with our next steps in our reopening plan. However, once again, I have to stress the importance of wearing the masks and social distancing. I realize this is not what we all are comfortable with, but science continues to show that this is the best way to mitigate the spread of the disease. One of the other big questions that we're constantly being asked is how about visitors from outside of the state of Florida, as well as visitors who are our family and friends from within the state of Florida. As of this period of time, Governor DeSantis's executive order still stays in place through July 8th. That order requires individuals coming from New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut to shelter in place and quarantine for 14 days if they arrive in Florida. This also means those individuals traveling by plane are also required for 14-day quarantine. In terms of those residing here in Florida, we are strictly saying that if you have a visitor, to please entertain that visitor in your apartment, not in the rotunda and not in the common areas. Please feel free to entertain in your apartment and or on the outside grounds. But once again, to please remember to wear a mask and social distance. We are carefully monitoring the governor's waivers regarding travel in and out of the state of Florida. These waivers will guide us in how we can open our doors towards visitation. As of this moment, also, the prohibition of visitors in assisted living and skilled nursing still exist. So at this time, no visitors are allowed in Anshan and Benderson. The only time a visitor is allowed in Benderson is if their loved one is on hospice and is deemed to unfortunately being considered active dying. I realize that sounds very cold and heartless, but unfortunately we are following the guidelines that have been set forth by the state of Florida, as well as the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, which is the federal agency that governs the operation of skilled nursing facilities. We do apologize that we're not allowed to have you visit your loved ones. We realize this is a tremendous hardship on everyone. We are following the regulations in our desire to continue to remain COVID-free on our campus. Once again, I thank you, applaud you, and appreciate each of you for your continued partnership in working with all of us to maintain a safe, secure Aviva campus. Be well, be safe, and thank you.